So here's a quick overview on today's assignment. So the purpose of today's assignment is to go to the library and find a source, any source on your topic, so long as that source is scholarly. Then you're to get that source and you're going to give it to me formatted as if it was to go into a reference list. And it needs to be formatted in APA format. So the skills that you're going to demonstrate today are one, that you have basic research skills, that you're able to go to the library and actually find information on a topic. Two, that you're able to differentiate quality, that you know a scholarly source from a non-scholarly source. And three is a basic technical skill that you're able to actually format that in the format we're using in this class, which again is the most widely used format in engineering, which is APA format. So where do you get started? So the first thing you want to do is go to the CVU library page. So if we go to the CVU library page, you've got a few options. Now I showed you before, you can go down here to subject guides. And if you choose subject guides, School of Science and Technology, you can then go to engineering, and that will take you to a whole series of resources that are useful. So Access Engineering is a searchable database of reference books and textbooks, journal articles, conference proceedings, etc. One Petro is specifically about petroleum. Science Direct down here is an excellent resource. It's a general science database that takes you to peer-reviewed articles. The nice thing about this is everything within here is peer review, but it's going to include a lot of information in arts and humanities, a lot of different things. So your information is going to be maybe a little more watered down in this one, but excellent source as well. Now another way we can do it is we can go straight into the library. We can scroll down. From databases. And if we scroll down to databases, you see there's a link to Google Scholar. Now, Google Scholar is a great resource. I don't use it that much personally myself. I like things like Academic Search Ultimate, but Google Scholar is a great resource. Now, if you go this way, rather than going through and Googling and going straight to Google, if you go this way, it's actually routed through the library website. And so everything that comes up, if there is a link to the library, if the library has access to it, you can directly access it this way. If you just Google Scholar, you'll find the same articles, but then you have to go to CVU to actually track them down. So let's say my topic today, and you are going to do the topic you were assigned by your classmate, but let's say my topic is oil production in the Permian Basin. And this is a major area of tight oil production in the US. So let's say this is my topic. So I'm going to search within Google Scholar, oil production, Permian Basin. That popped up because I'd actually searched that a second ago. It's not that Google somehow knows. I wish it just knew, but it does not. So you can see that immediately I've got a bunch of references coming back, and the first two are from 1958 and 1963 respectively. Those are both going to be completely useless for almost everything you want, because all of the production there is using technology that just did not exist then. So one of the things I'm going to want to do is try to make the work, as the papers I'm finding, be as current as I can. I can do that by selecting, say, 2015, which is a reasonable timeline. Now for this assignment, I just want to see that you can find any article. And so you can pick the first one, and as long as it's topical, you can use that. But if this was an essay or something you were writing, you'd obviously put a lot more work into picking a source, going and actually reading through the source and making sure it's relevant. So let's say I go with this one right here, all right? Water issues related to transitioning from conventional to unconventional oil production in the Permian Basin. So we're going to use this topic. So now I am going to format this. And this is all you're going to be handing in to me. I just need an assignment that has topic and your topic written down, and then I need your reference. But your reference needs to be formatted in APA format. So how am I going to do that? Well, if you Google APA citation reference, you're going to come up with a lot of different resources that will help you do that. You can also use programs that will do it for you automatically, but I want you to do it manually so that you know how to go through and double check to make sure, because those programs often make mistakes. So I'm trusting you've already gone and you've taken a look and you know how to do it, but I'll do one for you right now in real time. All right, so who are the authors, right? Bridget R. Scanlon, Robert C. Reedy, Frank Mail, and Mark Walsh. So you remember we were going to do last names in that order. last names followed by initials, and however many initials they give. So in this case, Bridget R, we're going to use both of them. In the case, say, of Mark or Frank in that list, you're only going to have a single initial. So then we've got Reedy, comma, R dot space dot C. Then we've got Nail, comma, F, and Walsh, comma, N. Okay, what's the year of the journal? Well, we can take a look, and the year was in 2017. So we're going to go 2017 followed by a period. All right, what's next up? Next up is the name of the article. And we are going to, we can just paste that straight in like this. But note that APA doesn't capitalize like this. It's only going to have the first, it's only going to have the first letters, or any proper nouns are going to be capitalized, the very first word. So we can go through oil production. And if you want, you could actually just get, I probably should have done this, I can go up here and I can just tell Word to do it myself if I want to. And the Permian Basin, that's a proper noun, that's a real thing. So we're going to leave that as is. Put a period. Now we've got the name of the journal. In an APA format, the name of the journal is going to be written out in italics. And the name of the journal is Environmental Science and Technology. Now we're going to go comma. Now this is a bit weird, but we are going to put the volume in italics, followed by the issue, but not in italics. So the issue is 18, and then we are going to have another comma, and finally the page number here. And in this case, the page number is pretty giant. This is kind of a weird format for this journal. 1, 2, period. And that's it. Now the final thing is, because I got this online, I'm going to put a DOI in here as well. If I had a print journal, I wouldn't put that in, but I'm going to put that guy at the end here. Paste, special. Okay, paste. All right, done and done. Actually, there's a couple tiny mistakes here. This should be DOI, and that should not have a period. Now, for retrieving digital journals, you can actually look through, and there's actually a few different ways of doing it. The APA style has changed slightly, so the proper way of doing it is actually supposed to be like this. So I would change this and make this be https:// DOI.org, and it would look like that is how they actually want you to do it now, but the other way is fine as well. One other thing I didn't notice as well is the idea of a scholarly source. So because I went through Google Scholar, I was fairly confident that this was a scholarly source, but if I wanted to double check, I could actually just Google the journal, and that's always a good idea. So if I look at the information on the page here, there's usually something that says about the journal. And if I click on about the journal, it's going to tell me its scope, etc. It'll tell me information in here. And this is often very useful. But I can also just go through and just quite literally Google the journal. So in this case, the journal is Environmental Science and Technology. And so I can go Environmental Science and Technology. And it's published by the ACS. And if I do that, I can see, I can scroll down and check Wikipedia, and it says it's Environmental Science and Technology. It's a bi-weekly, peer-reviewed, which remember is our gold standard, that's what we want, and it's published by the American Chemical Society, which is a real organization. If I wanted to double check it, I could always check out and see what the American Chemical Society is, and I'd say, oh, it's a, yep, this is a real thing, this is a real journal. And so this is going to be a high-quality paper. This is going to qualify as a scholarly source. So hopefully that helps. If you have any additional questions, please do feel free to come by, and happy hunting.